Hello, I am Scary Sis.
And I am Scary Bro.
And we are
the Scary Sis.
Hello, mortals, and welcome to Scary Sis.
You may have noticed that we are filming outside in the graveyard. That is because our crypt is currently under repairs after being blasted by aliens whose sister offended. You may also notice that the, circus is in town right across the street, which has just been wonderful for our deathly rest.
Hey, I happen to love the circus. The animals, the games, the food.
Yes, that's all well and good, sister, but you seem to have forgotten one crucial, terrifying element of these pop-up theme parks that sends shivers down my spine. Clowns. Yes, clowns, with their faces caked in excess makeup and their uncannily happy demeanor having caused unease and fear for generations.
These mascots of comedy can often have quite the opposite effect, and horror creators have taken full advantage of this by giving us a wide array of villainous clowns to haunt our nightmares. And we're here today to explore the best of the best.
Oh yes, there are tons of evil clowns to fear. Nickel Smart, aka that! Major Rawlings! Homicidal harlequins from a planetary body! How did that one get in there? Anyway, and the absolute worst of the bunch, Humanity's the Clown!
Don't you mean Art the Clown?
Oh, no, sister. Humanities makes Art look like a Boy Scout. He does things so despicable, so vile, that even thinking of them chills me to the bone.
Okay, whatever. By the way, are you, dating a clown?
Oh.
Mister, I'm so afraid of them.
What? No, that's a different Scary Bro. It's quite a common name in Bulgaria, Liechtenstein.
Good lord, I never know what you're going on about. Anyways, here's our top 10 list of best clown horror movies. In addition to our usual criteria of how scary the movie is, how strong the acting and ending are, and how well the film sticks with you, we'll also be judging these movies on how effective the villain is as an actual clown.
In our opinion, a true killer clown must also continue to embody their role as a jokester, either by showcasing dark humor or using circus-themed tools to kill their victims. If they're just a completely serious killer the whole time and just use a standard knife, then, in our opinion, they're not a true killer clown. They're just a killer in makeup, which isn't as fun.
Now, without further ado, let's get started with number 10.
Number 10, The Clown at Midnight. Years after her mother, a famous opera singer, was murdered in her dressing room by a man dressed as a clown, a teenager named Kate returns to the same opera house as part of a school project to refurbish the crumbling building. However, as the night progresses, she learns that the very same killer may still be lurking in the decrepit opera house and is intent on repeating his crimes from years ago.
Everything about this film is easily forgettable. The characters are generally pretty flat and unlikable. As final girls go, Kate is pretty bland and boring, and her boyfriend is even worse. The plot and resolution are pretty bland as well. Now, the clown himself was actually very scary, and the movie gave off classic slasher vibes. It just feels like it could have been fleshed out a bit better.
This is a movie that embodies generic slasher film for us. The kills are predictable and safe, the twist doesn't make sense or amount to much of anything, and it's just a forgettable movie that, while not bad per se, does nothing to help itself stand out amongst the crowd.
Number 9, Clown. A father named Kent dresses up as a clown for his son's birthday party after their paid clown entertainment falls through. He finds the clown suit in a chest inside a house he is trying to sell out of pure luck. After dressing up, Kent is unable to take the suit off of himself. Turns out, the suit is cursed and houses a clown-like demon that possesses whoever wears the suit, basically turning them into a monster until they eat 5 children.
As far as scary clowns go, this one nails it pretty well. Even before the actual monster surfaces, the idea of being trapped in a suit you can't take off is uncomfortable and claustrophobic, not to mention being slowly driven mad and forced to do terrible things against your will. Also, once the monster does surface, its true form is nightmare fuel and makes for a tense climax. The problem with this one is that I didn't really care about any of the characters, as the scary stuff started happening before we really got to know or sympathize with them. Plus, I could have used a little bit more humor. This may be a cannibalistic demon clown, but it's still a clown.
This movie is good, not great. It is entertaining, but not something I'm itching to rewatch.
Number 8, It Chapter 2. 27 years after seemingly defeating the demonic clown Pennywise, the now adult members of the Losers Club return to the town of Derry after it's discovered that Pennywise survived and is killing again. This time, armed with knowledge of an ancient ritual, the losers must rediscover lost memories of their past if they hope to finally destroy Pennywise for good.
This movie has a lot of positives, like wonderful acting, a scary Pennywise, and an interesting plot. However, this movie is nearly 3 hours long, and it does not need to be. It drags on and on, to the point when you're like, when will this be over? The ending is also absolutely the worst. This franchise is infamous for having bad endings, but the one in this film in particular takes the atrocious ending cake. Without spoiling it entirely, I would just say that this ending is something that they could show at a middle school anti-bullying assembly.
When compared to the great previous It film, It Chapter 1, which we'll get to much later in this ranking, Chapter 2 falls flat pretty hard. It has some great moments here and there, but is just bloated with way too much filler. Most of the scares are also ruined by the need to add a joke right after said scare, and like Sister said, the finale and the way things are resolved are just stupid. Pennywise may have a habit of making things float, but the only thing floating here is my attention span floating away from this overstuffed mess.
Number 7, House of 1,000 Corpses. A group of young adults travels cross-country to explore roadside attractions. They stop at a corny-looking, horror-themed gas station and meet Captain Spaulding, the owner and resident clown of this horror-themed establishment. When the group takes an interest in the local legend of Dr. Satan, Captain Spaulding gives the group directions that they will regret following.
This movie has Rob Zombie's stamp all over it. The grungy cinematography, the backwoods killer theme, the characters that all curse like sailors. This movie is his brand personified. I see this movie as Texas Chainsaw Massacre with more of a wild hillbilly twist. Like with that movie, the kills here are all graphic and disturbing, and the villains themselves are all memorable and colorful, cementing them as horror icons. Now, we don't get much from the actual clown, Captain Spaulding, but in what few scenes he's in, he's a delight to watch and a highlight of the film.
This movie is disturbing and unsettling, and honestly, it is such a staple of horror. It is a film that gives you just enough hope for the characters to keep thinking that things may get better, and then shatters it for them every time.
Number 6, Killer Clowns from Outer Space. Young couple Mike and Debbie are enjoying a date at the local makeout spot when they notice a strange object fall from the sky and land in the nearby forest. When they go to investigate, they come across what looks like a spaceship resembling a circus tent. The ship's passengers turn out to be hostile aliens who look like clowns, here to harvest humans in cotton candy cocoons. Now, with the help of their cop friend Dave, the pair must find a way to stop these intergalactic clowns before they abduct everyone in town. Sister? Oh, there you are.
Oh, you finished? Sorry. I thought I'd be back before you were done. Where were we? House of a Thousand Corpses? Okay, so...
No, sister, we finished that one. We're on to Killer Clowns from Outer Space. Can you please try to take this a little seriously? Also, where were you? And where did you get that... You didn't go to the
circus? Oh, stop being so weird today. Yes, I walked to the concession stand, grabbed a cotton candy, and left. And that was it. It was fine.
But, humanities! Nickel Smart! Homicidal Harlequins from a planetary...
Brother! None of those off-brand horror clowns were down there. But, I did run into that girl clown from earlier. She was asking about you. She wants to come up here and see you.
Really? Oh crap, how's my hair? Is my tie straight? Do I need to put on cologne? Oh yeah.
Ha! I knew you were dating her.
She makes me laugh, and that's hard to do. I happen to be attracted to her.
You double over in tears when the crypt door opens and sounds like a fart. You're not that hard to amuse.
Do you have to tear me down at every turn?
Yes, now let's continue. This movie is wacky, corny, cheesy, overacted, under-edited, and altogether silly. Yet it is still super entertaining and enjoyable to watch. The campy, cheesy atmosphere is charming, and the clowns are funny and sinister at the same time. And the plot is definitely original and memorable. This is a classic, and if you haven't had the experience of watching this movie, please do.
This film may not scare your pants off the way other movies on this list do, but if you want a cheesy 80s sci-fi horror movie with wacky villains, over-the-top kills, and a fun, lighthearted tone, this one's a pretty good choice.
Number 5, Stitches. A kid named Tom has a clown, Stitches, at his birthday party. The kids are messing around, and an unfortunate accident leads to Stitches falling on a knife and dying. 6 years later, Stitches is back from the dead with vengeance on his mind. He is coming to Tom's birthday party to seek revenge. Tom and his friends must figure out how to stop Stitches before he kills them all.
While not the best movie on this list, obviously since it's only number 5, this film captures perfectly my idea of an evil clown. Stitches uses all sorts of wacky party tricks and props to kill his victims, all while cracking jokes the whole time. While some others are demons that look like clowns or simple serial killers in makeup, he actually embodies a true evil clown for me. The protagonists are also a lot of fun here, and genuinely are funny in their own right, and even if one of them is a bit of an offensive fat stereotype. That aside, I give this movie props for its effective humor and memorable villain.
This movie isn't getting any awards for acting or serious horror, but it is definitely enjoyable and worth the watch.
Number 4, All Hallows Eve. While babysitting 2 kids on Halloween night, a young woman discovers that someone has slipped a strange VHS tape into one of the kids' candy bags. Watching the tape reveals 3 very disturbing horror shorts, all centering on a terrifying clown in black and white makeup. As the night progresses and increasingly strange things begin happening, it becomes apparent that this clown may in fact be all too real.
So, the acting is bad in the short films, but I feel like that is intentional. However, the acting in the connecting plot isn't much better, so who knows? The short films are a bit weak, save the last one, but the film itself is still pretty scary. Honestly, Art the Clown has so much fear factor that he brings a mid at best film to our number 4 spot. This is his debut, and it is no wonder they decided to give him his own separate franchise beyond this movie. We've reviewed this one previously on our anthology film ranking, and it still holds its place near the top of that list and this one as well.
This is a disturbing, if a bit flawed, anthology film that honestly seems like it functions as a trial run for Art the Clown. So, despite its faults, we have to thank it for giving us one of the most terrifying horror villains in recent memory.
Number 3, Stephen King's It from 1990. After several children are murdered in the town of Derry, Maine, we see a man named Mike who suspects an entity named Pennywise has returned to the town. When Mike and his friends were kids, they fought Pennywise and all swore that they would return to face him again if he came back. Mike gathers his former friends back to town so the group can attempt to finish what they started 30 years prior.
Much like how Jaws caused an entire generation to be afraid of sharks, this mini-series did the same thing with clowns. While fairly tame by today's standards, the 90s It still manages to be effectively frightening. This is in large part due to Tim Curry's portrayal of Pennywise. Unlike the new films that present him as some demon clown from hell that no kid would get within 100 feet of, this Pennywise looks and behaves much more like a real clown. He looks fairly normal, makes jokes, and is friendly at first. This makes his victims lower their guard around him until he's within striking range, which I feel was the point of the character in the book. This movie has its problems, and overall I'd still consider the remaked first chapter superior, but I do think one thing this version has over the new one is Pennywise himself.
This is a classic and scarred an entire generation. It will always be the one that many think of when a fear of clowns is brought up.
Number 2, Terrifier. Two friends on their way home from a party find themselves stalked and eventually captured by a menacing clown named Art. As the two fight to escape, and one of the girl's sisters gets pulled into the madness, it's revealed just how depraved Art truly is and how far he's willing to go to deliver a killer punchline.
The biggest positive to this film is Art the Clown. Just like in All Hallows Eve, he is so scary that he makes up for many things that this film is lacking. He is one of the scariest horror villains I have ever seen. He is also very effective as a clown and mime because he maintains his scare factor but also adds in some clown-like humor at times as well. Now, the acting in this movie isn't great, and the characters were all pretty flat and boring. I feel like this movie has the good and bad elements of a classic slasher movie.
To be fair, the second and third film in this franchise are honestly better, with Terrifier 3 being my personal favorite. However, we chose not to include them on this list because we didn't want the entire ranking being just It and Terrifier. This first film, while lacking the stronger story and characters of its sequels, still delivers the over-the-top gore, the sense of dread, and the commanding presence of Art the Clown, and for that it earns our number 2 spot.
Number 1, It 2017. Unlike the original, which switches back and forth between the past and present, the remake of this story is separated into 2 separate films. The already discussed Part 2, which takes place when the Losers Club are adults. But in our opinion, this one, where they are fighting Pennywise as children, is the best clown film we have seen. The movie begins with Bill losing his brother Georgie to Pennywise, and thereafter he and his friends are stalked, bothered, and intimidated by Pennywise's antics. Yet they come together to try and stop him.
This is one of the most successful and praised modern horror films to be released, and for good reason. The scares are absolutely terrifying and effective, the actors are all great and make the characters likable, the humor is interspersed well without ruining the scares, unlike in Chapter 2, and I love the idea of splitting the story into two films, with one focusing on the losers as kids, and the second as adults. It keeps it from jumping around constantly, a problem with the 90s miniseries.
Overall, this remake took the classic miniseries and kept most of the good qualities, but improved on some others. And those were our picks for the top 10 killer clown horror movies. Did you agree or disagree with our picks? Please let us know in the comments. And if you enjoyed this video, please give us a like and subscribe.
Thank you for watching, and we will see you next time. Until then, I am Scary Bro.
And I am Scary Sis. And we are
The Scary Sis. Wait, sister! Look! It's him! It's humanity's the clown! He's found us, and now there's no escape from the evilly brains!
Hello. All circus patrons are required to sit in on a 1-hour timeshare presentation, before they can redeem any prizes that they have won in games.